You look like a bag of shit.
Well, hello, beautiful.
Why do I fix everything I touch?
What's up, space pirates? This is your Admiral, the chronically charismatic Dr. Disaster, and you would think that AAA gaming studios would have learned not to use intentionally ugly female main characters in their games because there is a significant portion of the gaming community who simply will not buy a game like that.
You obviously do not know who you are fucking with!
The thing is, all of the people out there who advocate for what they call more realistic female characters in games, these progressive feminist types, those people are typically corporate simps. They know that their golden ticket in the industry is being the biggest kiss asses possible toward these big studios. They will praise whatever the hell these AAA studios release, so pandering to them, to these progressive feminist types, is actually fairly pointless. Look at how so many of these game journalists came around to Stellar Blade and started praising that game and acting like they always supported it. These people will break, but as I said, a significant portion of gamers will never relent. Their message, the message of the chuds, will remain consistent.
No one likes that!
And that brings me to one of the more prominent examples of an upcoming game that has been weathering this same sort of controversy. Last year, when the trailer for The Witcher 4 released at the Game Awards, a good chunk of people noticed that Ciri looked different than how she used to look in The Witcher 3. And no, it wasn't just age. Getting older doesn't significantly alter cheekbone placement like what we're seeing in this trailer.
Honey, you got real ugly.
And this past year, we have seen a couple new videos with Ciri in it, and in both of them, it appeared to some people like they had altered Ciri's face so that she looks softer. Naturally, the game journalist denied that this happened. This was the headline from The Gamer back in June, when the most recent of these videos was released at the State of Unreal. They wrote, CDPR once again denies dramatically altering Ciri's face in The Witcher 4's new trailer. But, as was pointed out in this post on X, The Gamer has now changed that headline to cover up their BS. They are now admitting that the new trailer made subtle changes to her face. This is an admission that the chuds were correct and that CD Projekt Red appears to have pivoted to avoid controversy, and I can just imagine how these game journalist types are seething about it on the inside, even as they have to pretend that they love this.
Good guy wins, bad guy loses. Big friggin' surprise.
Alright, me hearties, make sure that you hit the like button on this video, share it with your friends, and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. I've had a lot of people tell me that they've been unwillingly unsubscribed to the channel. Almost every day, I hear from someone who says they did not believe me when I talked about this phenomenon, but then they noticed that they themselves were unsubbed from the channel. I don't know why it happens, but I hear it a lot. So much so that I need you to look into it. I will be making this portion of my video skippable by making it into a chapter on the video timeline, but I do need to keep saying this because the amount of people telling me that it happens to them is unbelievable. But alrighty then, the ugly female character thing has caused a ton of economic damage in gaming over the past few years. Star Wars Outlaws sold like shit. As an example, when they changed the actress, who looks great, into a potato with eyes and some hair on top. The Perfect Dark reboot massacred Joanna Dark, giving her Clark Kent's big-ass chin. The Fable remake has been delayed a ton in the past few years, and the speculation is that Xbox is still trying to figure out how to handle the negative reception to their intentionally hideous character design. The word is that they are fixing the character behind the scenes, or look at Intergalactic the Heretic Prophet. The trailer for this game was destroyed by gamers because of the way that they made the character in this game look. The rule of thumb for a female character is generally she needs to look good enough that gals want to cosplay as her and guys want to be with her. And hell, I don't even think there's actually much of a double standard with male characters, to be honest. I just don't recall too many instances where we see developers intentionally making male main characters look like shit. They generally have no problem making muscle-bound, heroic-looking dudes or anything like that. But feminists think it's their solemn duty to ensure there are no beauty or even health standards being held up for women, and they despise the idea of men admiring a woman that isn't them. They despise the male gaze, which is where this controversial trend stems from in the gaming industry with the ugly female main character. But anyhow, let's take a look at this change in this article from The Gamer, where they admit that actually we had a point. This news was brought to my attention from this post from the X account Based Player. For full context, several months ago, when that State of Unreal trailer came out, they showcased Ciri from The Witcher 4. This right here is what Ciri looked like in the original Witcher trailer. People noted that her high cheekbones made her look fairly masculine. It looked like they were trying to make her appear tougher or something like that. And then this is what Ciri looked like in that State of Unreal trailer. Some people say that this is just a product of the lighting, and that may or may not be the case. My opinion is that the model has been altered. I'm not here to tell you what to think. Let me just show you the two images side by side here, and you can decide for yourself. The significant thing is that people saw a difference in the character. A significant amount of people saw that, and I happen to agree. And well, I will let the tweets from Based Player actually explain everything. This is his post from back in June when this controversy originated. He wrote here, "Let me explain how companies use deceptive language to gaslight you. It's the same face model. Confirmed." So what? Gamers said they made Ciri look better because they did. We did not dramatically alter her. Confirmed. Keyword dramatically. Gamers said you made Ciri look better because you did. CDPR then goes on to admit they made tweaks, changes to her appearance. I understand people want complete and blatant victories, but that's not how this works. They will never outright admit that Gamergate had any effect on their decisions. That's just never how this was going to go down. Studios will change gradually enough for them to deny your involvement in any way, so acknowledge your little wins. We're in for a lot more. Your words matter. You are making a change. Don't let them fool you. And then, at the bottom of his post, he included an image of this headline from The Gamer, where that word dramatically is doing a whole lot of heavy lifting for the point that they wanted to convey. And then, here is his recent post, which says, "Half a year after my tweet, they've gone back and revised the article to cover up their lie. Say what you want to about the anti-woke, but we call this shit out. We expose how studios and media gaslight gamers. We also really like attractive female characters, so sorry." And then he includes this new image of what the headline says on the Gamer website now for this article. It says, "The Witcher 4's new trailer made subtle changes to Ciri's face." And there are a couple of reasons that they might have done this. First of all, they know that they are full of shit and they don't want to be on the wrong side of things. Also, I think most people expect to see a new trailer for The Witcher 4 released during the Game Awards in a few weeks, and they likely suspect that Ciri will be quite obviously differently received, so they are covering their bases. And I gotta say, Personally, if Ciri's face is improved over what we were seeing before in last year's trailer, that will go a long way toward getting me interested in playing this new game. It's not a slam dunk, mind you, because Ciri being a Witcher in the first place is still a significant barrier for me. I don't like how they took a unique character with her own unique abilities and transformed her into what appears to be a female version of Geralt. And for practical reasons within the Witcher universe, not the least of which being that a female had never survived the Trial of Grasses, so Geralt and Yennefer would never allow Ciri to undertake those. But for these sorts of practical reasons, I just find it difficult to imagine this not damaging my suspension of disbelief. That being said, if Ciri is sufficiently fixed, in my opinion, I will at least be open to the idea of trying this game out when it comes out. After all, The Witcher 3 is an all-time great game in my opinion, though admittedly, a lot of the people who made that game have left the studio since then, and I'm not a big fan of a lot of the folks that they've brought on board CDPR in recent years. So, we will just have to see how everything plays out as time progresses. But I'm going to leave it there. It's delightful to see game journalists have to backtrack on their own headlines, but what do you make of all this? Drop your thoughts into the comment section below, and we will talk there. Thanks for watching me, Hearties. If you haven't already, your Admiral is inviting you to subscribe to the channel and become a part of the crew. Life as a space pirate may not be glamorous, but there's always plenty of booty.